Today we are testing these delicious looking buns from Oksana. They are mostly made of red lentils and quinoa and they are fermented. Looking at the comments under Oksana's video, several people asked if they could make it oil-free. So I'm turning this into a challenge. The internet says the ratio is 1:3, so I'm using 6 tablespoons of ground flax seeds to replace 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Is today's recipe Breadilicious or a loaf of regret? Let's find out. The recipe. So I decided to go with half of a recipe, so that will give us 5 buns per version, so 10 in total. So for each bowl, I measure the red lentils and quinoa, half a cup each. As often with legumes, we start with a washing and a soaking step. It requires anticipation, and because they are fermented, double patience, guys. So if you want something quicker, please check these red lentils buns we tested previously. They are very great for a savory meal. Wash them very well, drain and rinse, then cover with fresh water and a splash of apple cider vinegar and let them soak overnight. Once soaked, drain and rinse them again. And now we split into our 2 test versions. So version A is the control version again. So I'm mixing the lentils and quinoa with the water, the salt, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Honestly, it felt like a lot of oil for the quantity. In the comments, please tell me, do you avoid oil at all? Is it a problem for you? I am actually using a hand mixer this time, guys, because I want to avoid my usual mixer drama, and it's actually more convenient and less washing. I mean, you do everything in one bowl. It's amazing. Alright, so the version B is the flax version. So it's exactly the same. We mix the lentils, the quinoa, the water and the salt. And instead of the oil, we go with the ground flaxseed. I actually started with 3 tablespoons and it felt enough. But I added 3 more to match the internet ratio. Spoiler, this is exactly when I messed up. The version A was very easy to blend, extremely easy. It felt super moist. Obviously, we had 2 tablespoons of olive oil in it. The version B was much harder, but still possible. Then to each bowl, I added the baking soda and the lemon juice. Then I mixed manually and added the psyllium husk, 1 tablespoon at a time. And you can already see the difference. The oil version is really unctuous, it's more liquid, and the flax one is rough. But I still had hope at this time. Yeah, I'm the delusional type. Side note, I'm actually learning the purpose of using baking soda before fermenting, because usually it's used at the end, just to give an extra lift. But based on my research, adding it before fermenting helps reduce sourness more than it contributes to lifting. Do you agree? So now we are ready for the magic, the fermentation. This is where the anti-nutrients break down further and the flavor develops. You need a warm, stable temperature. So Oksana suggests to use your oven if it has a bread-proof setting. I don't have this fancy thing. I mean, I don't even have a food processor. Don't ask me for too much. I mean, is it that fancy, or am I just very late and have kitchen appliances from 2005? But she suggests an alternative is to leave your bowl next to your stove being on. Honestly, with that towel next to it, hell no. And risk setting my flat on fire. For what? For some buns? No way. So I checked the comments and someone suggested using a hot water bottle. This sounded cheap and efficient enough for me, so I went for that. I tucked my bowls under a thick blanket with the bottle and changed the water once. After 4 hours. 8 to 10 hours later, guys, it's ready. Wakey, wakey. Wow, it's very warm here. It's very nice. So preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius, 360 Fahrenheit, and let's check how they fermented. Ooh, interesting. Okay, the first thing I noticed is the smell. Then we have, sorry, the one, don't know why I'm coughing. The one with, it smells something, okay? That's how you know it worked, I guess. Wow, that's fermented, huh? For sure. And the doughs got much thicker and airy. And spongy. Yeah, it's very airy. Interesting. Even the flax version had bubbles. Oh, yeah. Very similar. This one is a little bit more dense. Yeah. Yeah, so with this one I can make small balls, but with this one, can I? Now with this one it's a bit more, yeah, it's more difficult. Alright, so let's make our buns. To differentiate them further, although that was not so necessary because, yeah, I think visually they look different enough. But anyways, I used a code, pumpkin seeds for the oil version and sunflower seeds for the flax version. You can also wet your hands to help with shaping. And voila, this is how they look. Very nice, I can't wait. Now into the oven for 55 minutes. And they are ready. They smell good and you just need to let them cool and taste them. The taste test, day 1. Okay, so both taste very good. In fact, they have the most neutral taste we have tested so far, and I love that. I think it's thanks to the quinoa. The oil version is very spongy, it's very light, but it smells like fried food. Okay, to be fair, I haven't had fried food for a very long time, so maybe I'm too sensitive to this oil smell. The flax version is harder. There is still some sponginess, but much less, and it tastes nice. There is more chewing required. At least it doesn't smell like oil. It smells neutral. Day 2 and 3, I left the buns on the counter, covered, and when I opened the box, it smelled like next day fried food. I'm not kidding. However, the oil version texture is still there. It's still spongy, not as good as the day 1, but very good. I don't know if the softness shows on camera, but in the mouth, the experience is much better. It's just nicer to eat for sure. And version B has some sponginess. Okay, maybe I use a bit more strength here. It's not the hardest thing out there, but in comparison, yeah. I toasted them, so that's a good way to give them a second life. And they're actually very enjoyable. I guess it depends on what you value. And also don't know if I would have said the same if I would have only tested the version B with flax seeds. Probably not, but in comparison, I need to be honest that the version A is much better. I tried both with vegan pate and homemade Nutella, and it's very nice. Actually, I really like the taste. It's my favorite so far. I think I said it for the chickpea bread. The chickpea bread was very good. I think they are comparable, but in taste, I like how neutral this one is. On day 3, I tried with a type of vegan cream cheese. It was simple, but oh my god, very good. Nutrition and cost. So despite using organic ingredients, these buns are relatively cheap, about €1.30 to make, and compared to standard baguette, they both have 3 times more iron and at least double the fiber. So you are getting so much more fuel for your body. Even the protein grows from 8 to 10 grams, so that's 25% increase, and it's a complete protein too. The flax version is cheaper, more nutritious, and it's a fiber powerhouse, as you can see, but I added way too much and it definitely affected the texture. Final rating. So this bread is plant-based, is easy to make, is nutritious, and is neutral enough in flavor. But the question is it Breadilicious? Will I switch my baguette for this? Alright, I'm going to rate Oksana's version. I'm going to give it a solid B. It's very good and worth making again. It's excellent in texture and I really recommend it if you don't mind the oil, honestly. I'm not 1% happy with the oil smell and quantity. For the version B with the flaxseed, I will give it a C. Yeah, I should have trusted myself and stopped at 3 tablespoons of flax seeds. But it's okay because we are learning and I'm not giving up on this oil-free quest. Yeah, you got it. Next week we will be testing 3 new versions. Version 1, 50% less oil. I just wonder if we really need 2 tablespoons of olive oil for 5 buns. Version 2, use less ground flax seeds and pre-hydrate it so it stops stealing from the moisture from the batter. And version 3, use hemp seed cream as another potential whole food oil replacement. I'm really looking forward to this. This recipe again is very good and this oil-free version has potential, so let's improve it together. If you have better ideas on how to make it oil-free and improve the texture, let me know in the comments. Alright, see you next week. Bye!